Hey everyone, as I told you in the previous YouTube videos that we were going to have a surprise for you, and so this surprise is going to be my dad talking about some of the guns that he's collected that are about World War II. So I'm going to put it over to him, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about each one of these guns that he has. All right, so here's the collection right here, and my dad is going to just tell you briefly what each one is.
Okay, here we have is M1 Garand. It was started building this in 1936, and it shoots the 30-06 caliber bullet. And here we go to the M1 carbine, and it was designed for World War II in 1940-41, and it was used throughout the war. This is what it shoots, a 30 M1 carbine round. Here's a World War I 1903 Springfield, and it also shoots a 30-06, but they were carried over into World War II, and they were rebarreled and re-arsenaled for the World War II. These were a 12-gauge Winchester 1897. They were used for trench guns for small areas where they had to have something short but a lot of firepower. And here we have the Colt 1911 45 caliber. It was obviously made 1911 when they started them. 1926, the same gun, they brought out a arched mainspring, and they called it the 1911 A1. And this is the round it shoots, 45 ACP.
Okay, now he's going to kind of go individually and talk about each one of them on here.
Okay, here the M1 Garand. Shot a 30-06. It was designed in 1936, and it was also used by countless other countries in our Lend-Lease program the United States had with other countries. And it shot what they called an end block. It would go in, and it would shoot all 8 cartridges, and it would automatically kick this out, and they would the soldier would put in another one.
Is that the type when like in Saving Private Ryan, when the bullets kind of come out, you hear that ping?
Yes, that's the ping right there. So yeah, as it comes out of the action, it makes a ping noise, and they know that they're, but it's been said that the opposition also knew when you were out of ammo when that happened. Okay, here the M1 carbine. That was designed in 38 to 40, and we put it in our arsenal in 41, World War II. And it was designed by a man they called Carbine Williams. And it shoots a little 30 M1 carbine round. It was light and easy to get around, but it didn't have the firepower as our 30-06. And this also was, there's a zillion of these around in different countries still today being used in our Lend-Lease program. And it had a little bayonet here to go with it for close fighting if they needed. Here's the 30-06 Springfield. They were made by a couple different companies, Remington, Smith Corona, and the Springfield itself, and it shot the 30-06 also, but they were designed on a stripper clip. So this, you would open it up and slide this in, push them down, the clip would come out, and you'd start shooting. These, I don't know for sure if they were in a Lend-Lease, because again, these were designed for World War I, but they were also carried over into World War II, and they were used. The 1897 pump shotgun by Winchester was they called it a trench gun. Now this one's missing some parts on it, but it was used for close quarters. When they were coming through the trenches, it was shorter, and it had a lot of blast. Now these were not on a Lend-Lease. These were basically here for us. Now the 45 ACP 1911, designed in 1911, and they were used for sidearm to get rid of we had a 38 Colt which just wasn't strong enough. Didn't have the knockdown power, so they came out with the 45 ACP. This is the 1911, and then in 1927 they came out with the 1911 A1, which the differences were in the hammer, the trigger. This one's got a shorter trigger than the 1911, and it's got the housing, the mainspring housing that comes out for a little bit better grip, where this is a straight grip. And these were definitely on a Lend-Lease program, and we just within the last few years received a bunch of them that the CMP got to sell here in the United States that were from other countries. And that pretty much wraps up the U.S. our arsenal.
And when FDR wanted people to, manufacture more things, what kind of, was it everybody that was starting to manufacture these weapons, or like what other companies were manufacturing besides
There was
gun?
quite a few. Here in the 45s, there were 10 different manufacturers. Union Switch and Signal, Singer Sewing Machine, Ithaca Gun Company, they made them. And also with the M1 carbines, they really got into it. They had several manufacturers. There was probably 10 to 12 manufacturers. Rockola, the jukebox company, also made these. The M1 Grands, they were basically like Winchester made them, Springfield Armory made them, and towards the end, International Harvester made them.
Uh-huh.
These, there were only the 3 companies that made those: the Smith Corona, the Springfield, and the Remington. And I take that back, I think there was Eddystone too, that was number 4. And Winchester was Winchester, they made their shotgun.
Awesome. Hey guys, and now we're gonna kind of look at some of what the enemy would have had, just to see in comparison to what the U.S. had. This isn't all of what the enemy had, but this was some of the bigger ones that you might have recognized if you play Call of Duty or Battlefield or any of those now. All right, what have we got now?
Okay, here we have the K98 Mauser, German Mauser. This is used by the German infantry. This action is one of the most copied actions in the world. It's the smoothest action that people have found. That shoots a 8mm round, which is comparable to our 30-06. Here we have the C96 Mauser. Shoots a 7.63 round.
And they call this the broom handle Mauser because you can see the handle looks like a broom.
And we also have some ammo here for it. Let's see, I guess I must have lost it here. But it shoots the 7.63 Mauser. Here we have the German Luger. This was their sidearm that every branch of the German military had. Then they updated and they came out with a P38. It's a double action, where these are just single action, and it shoots, both of them shoot the 9mm Mauser. And this we have is a Japanese Nambu. It shoots a little 8mm round, not to be confused with the 8mm Mauser, but this is the Japanese, use this as a sidearm.
And this, you had said earlier something about these bullets for this one was given to the Finnish?
This ammo here is, right now it's got the German sticker on it, but I pulled off the other one and it had Finnish markings on it. So they were made and bought by the Finnish army in the Cold War.
All right, and that does it for that. Thank you very much, Dad.